I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really not feeling this today. Days I've been feeling really blue. Nothing really even changed. It's just, I guess it's just part of the cycle, you know. But because of that, I kind of want to talk a little bit about like pessimism and whatnot, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that goes in cycles like this and feels these like really aggressive depressive waves hit almost out of nowhere too. Never really I don't really get a say in when I feel things and the things that I feel. I have no control over that. As far as I can tell, I only have control over what I do with them. That being said, like I've been past couple days I've been scrolling a lot on social media, doom scrolling, trying to just numb this pain, numb this feeling. Everybody will say, "That's not how you deal with it. That's not the right way to deal with it." Like honestly, the last thing I want to hear is the right way to deal with things. You know, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe get a start on building that railroad. I don't know how to make sticks. Probably. Let go. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be enough. Um, what do regular rails cost to make? Isn't it just? Yeah, it is. Oh, that's not showing up then. Maybe I had to learn the recipe or something like that. I mean, like, do I have a reason to be sad? Do I have a reason to be depressed? I don't. That's like a stupid argument when you really think about it, or not even when you really think about it. Just anything can be a valid reason to be depressed. Anything. Whether you want to accept that and acknowledge that or not is entirely up to you. What I know to be true is that I am feeling this certain way, and I'm feeling this certain way because of the situation, or maybe not even the situation I'm currently in. The situation I'm currently in would indicate that I should be the furthest thing from depressed. Have every need met. I'm perfectly satiated. You know, for all intents and purposes, life is good. But yet, here I am, still feeling a certain kind of way. And then this is like dangerous cycle of depression too, because I could sit here and try to rationalize it. Well, I shouldn't feel this way because everything says I shouldn't. Yet I still do. So I must be inherently flawed. I must be wrong. My feelings must be invalid. And that's arguably an even more dangerous cycle to be stuck in. Where now I'm invalidating myself, and the invalidation is inherently leading me to more depression. But yet, at the very same time, being validated and validating myself for the way I feel also makes me feel inherently wrong. Depression is bad, depression is negative, and thus should not be experienced, especially when all of the indicators say I should be fine. So you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. The way I see it. So what's the answer? Or is there even an answer? To be quite frank, there may not be. Oh, bother. It's like we gotta dig an entirely new staircase here. This should be fun. The thing is like, if I could control the way I feel, I would. I always feel perfectly content. I always feel happy. Fact is, that's not an option. I just have to feel what I feel. And I have to get over the fact that validating it and feeling it are kind of two separate things. I don't have to give it approval, and I don't have to give it disapproval. I just have to feel it. And I've been getting better with that, over the years, especially recently. And this ties me into this kind of almost pessimistic outlook on life, where I have to, if I accept and feel these negative states a certain way, then inherently the opposite has to be felt the same way. Otherwise, I create an imbalance, fundamental yearning for one side over the other, which is realistically why we end up feeling depressed anyways, is because we feel that the way things are one side or the other. In truth, they're just feelings. They're just experiences. And it's somewhat fair to say that all experiences are equal. They all have some level of intrinsic value of being an experience to be had. So if they all share an intrinsic value of being an experience to be had, then it's fundamentally unfair to favor one side of the experience over the other, when at their core, they are just an experience to be had. So, it could be a pessimistic view, it could be a realist view, it could be an agnostic view. The way I've started to look at life is radical balance. Which would imply that culmination of everything that's happened in my life must find some sort of homeostasis ultimately. Which I suppose it could be argued that because I've always been sort of in a blue state, that the homeostasis is finding these new highs because I've hit very, very low lows. That is an argument that could be made about the situation. Yet at the same time, it would also have to be acknowledged that any new low or any new high created or experienced would ultimately, again, need to be balanced with a low. Which puts me into this kind of that pessimistic state where it's like, no, I don't know if the highs are worth the lows and the lows are worth the highs. But if I can just minimize the amplitude and kind of stay at this gray area, this kind of not too hot, not too cold, Goldilocks zone. And maybe spare myself a lot of hurt. But at the same time, and I would have to say it in the same way, I would also spare myself overexcitement and overjoy. But you see, there's an inherent connotation that joy means good, pain means bad. And that's an unfair, I don't want to say perspective, it's an unfair judgment. Again, they both tie. A good experience and a bad experience are both an experience. The judgment is perspective based. Things don't necessarily have to be good, they don't have to be bad. Pain doesn't have to be bad. Joy doesn't have to be good. me saying that, I wonder then if I can create balance by shifting my perspective to joy being a negative, pain being a positive. It borders on masochism. The sentiment is there. That's almost saying, what if I could trick the universe into giving me what I want by believing that what I want is bad for me? What does that really even mean for something to be bad for me? I would then have to change the entire definition of bad and full-heartedly and fundamentally believe it to be true. Or I limit the highs and I limit the lows. I don't know if this is faster than running. Kind of feels like it. Noisy as fuck, though, I'll give you that much. No, we're probably gonna run into that goddamn underwater cave. Or under cave water. Water-filled cave, you know what I'm saying? I can hear the water now. I don't know if I'll miss it or not. Well, it's down there. Yeah, I'll probably hit it. I'll probably run right through it. Cause a whole nother set of problems. Even something like that, like what is a problem? If not just something to do. One thing I suppose I have to accept is that if I feel down right now, then I know that I'm going to have to feel good in due time. Like it's gonna have to happen where it's no longer sadness again, you know? Like it ties into that this too shall pass mindset. It really truly does suck to be in. Feeling all depressed, feeling like nothing I do is worth it, feeling like everything I stand for is pointless, and that there's no point to love, that there's no. That's a whole nother discussion. It's like, again, tying back to that, are the highs really worth the lows? Problem is, I don't have a full enough perspective to be able to judge that, because I only have, as far as I can tell, the perspective of the lows. I've never really seen the relationship or the happiness that I've sought. There's always been this underpinning of sadness and like abuse and neglect and manipulation, and there's never been like a pure feeling, and now I don't even know if I can allow myself to feel a pure feeling, because I'm looking at all experiences through the lens of into pain. And I hold on to hope that maybe one day everything will just get better. But it never really seems to. From the perspective of the present moment. If I look back, if I put things into a slightly different perspective and look back at where I was, then yes, things appear to have gotten better, but still in the present moment, things hurt just as much as they always have, if not more. There's more at stake. Like, the higher you fly, the further you can fall. And the ground never gets any softer. So yeah, I've adopted a very pessimistic outlook the past couple of days, and I'm sure that's not helping with anything. But why should I not adopt a pessimistic mindset? Why do I have to be optimistic? See, there's no reason to be optimistic. There's no reason to be pessimistic. Other than the fact that the other side exists. That's the only reason to be optimistic, is because pessimism is an option. The only reason to be pessimistic is because optimism is an option. They depend on each other. And of course, saying that, it's like, oh no, that doesn't make any sense, because pessimism bad, optimism good. Well, why is pessimism good? Why is optimism good and pessimism bad? If not for the case that optimism is good because pessimism is bad. You should not feel this one way because it's bad, because the other side is good. It's circular logic. It's a snake eating its own tail. And it's all a matter of perspective. Something that feels good to one person may feel like hell to another person. Something that feels like hell to one person may feel like heaven to another. All we've done as humans is judged everything. And in doing so, we prevent ourselves from experiencing the fullness of life. The only way to experience the fullness of life is to stop blocking yourself. That can be said about anything. There's things that I block myself in, and I'm blocking myself in right now. But at the same time, Jesus Christ. If we have free will, then I have the free will to limit myself. And if I have the free will to limit myself, then I may do so at my own will. But if I limit myself, then I've taken away my own free will. Life is a paradox. cannot exist outside of existence. Unconditional love is love on the condition of no conditions. Everything implies its opposite. And the opposite must be if the other opposite is to exist. The continuous paradox, inescapable, untamable, but tameable, where every possibility exists, where the possibility of possibilities to not exist exists. There's infinite different ways to argue the same viewpoints. Yet, all of those infinite ways argue the same point. Do you want to be happy? Or do you just want peace? To be honest, I think I value peace more than either extreme. What a tedious freaking thing I've decided to do. Let's go Let's go fucking hell. Let's go build a minecart track. It'll be fun, they said. You can get to the dungeon faster. Get to the dungeon faster, that means you can get XP faster. I think next time I'm going to start actually working on the XP farm. Maybe we'll explore that abandoned mine shaft a little bit more. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's supposed to be. I never really build minecart tracks, so this is. I don't want to say a first for me. I've done this before, but it's not something I usually do. So one day I'll rip it all out and do it in a better way, and I don't know, maybe make an elevator or something. The real trick is going to be connecting it all the way to the base. A little like station. I don't know if every two was the right move. That's going to be too slow. If it's not even going to get them up, down. I don't know. Down should be fine. But up is always the concern. Usually I just go 100% power rails, you know, but that seems kind of like, I don't want to say a waste of gold, because there's not really many other uses for gold. know, it's weird though. It's like if you look at this too long, it starts to look like I'm going up. Gravity is just working sideways. Oh, I didn't even do this part. Damn. I do. There's a whole bunch more of these. That's where my mind has been recently. And Loki is what it is. I don't really have much of a choice one way or another. But to be one way or be another. So I say it, and it's it's so easy in the state of mind too to just not do the things that you want to do, but also this whole thing seems to happen in waves. All of life seems to happen in waves. It always seems that after a phase of being like really productive and getting a lot of stuff done, that I always like crash. I just get super depressed and just want to consume. And I guess that's not even that bad of a thing, because that's kind of exactly, I suppose, what's supposed to happen. If I'm super productive for a period of time, then I have to expect that for a period of time after that, I'm going to be super unproductive. If I'm super active and I'm go, then I have to expect that I'm going to be super cathartic sometime thereafter. And that also means the exact opposite. If I'm super cathartic for a time, that means within some amount of time after that, I'm going to be super productive again. I don't know, you think that's faster? I genuinely don't know if it is or not. Okay, that's why I need a button there. Kind of feels faster. Also kind of doesn't. Cool. Well, that's done for now. I think next time we're gonna work on the mob, that fucking XP farm down there, and maybe talk about something a little less depressing than depression. But it's also good to talk about stuff like that, because otherwise it stays inside and just rots you. You don't really have to talk about it with a person. You can just talk about it, like I'm doing on a fucking YouTube series that nobody watches, and it's just like this perfect little like venting place. bro take one of my fucking half slabs? It's gonna look like it. All right, well, that's enough for this episode. I'll wrap it here. I'll see y'all soon.